Tired of coming home after a long day of committing tax fraud just to feel like you're being watched in your own house? You're not imagining it. Here are my top 3 tips to find out whether or not your chicken is a fed. Number 1, check around the coop. What you want to be finding here is eggs and chicken. If instead you're finding MK Ultra documents, that is not a good sign. Stay vigilant. Number 2, when listening to your bird, if instead of clucking, they're relaying numbers in a seemingly random order, that is not a chicken, that is a government-funded number station. Again, not what you want. Last but not least, number 3, look for a response. Well, within earshot of your chicken, casually say something like, I think Ted Kaczynski did nothing wrong. If your bird remains silent, they've begun recording your conversation and are uploading your coordinates. That is a fed, and if you do not act immediately, the news is going to say that you drowned while swimming. I hope this has been helpful. Good luck. Godspeed, and trust no chicken.
Huh. Now I wonder why Tim Pool the Beanie Man has so many chickens. What is he hiding? Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke Gradowski here of wearechange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely dumb, stupid, ridiculous political news unfolding right now in our discourse, as of course the situation is very dire for political bipartisanship, as of course all things are breaking loose when it comes to the foundation of our democracy that the people proclaiming to of course protect it are absolutely destroying it, as there's a lot of very important updates surrounding the former president of the United States and his larger legal battles, as there's even a larger attack on alternative independent media organizations that also are being shut down because of the federal government. What's really going on here? What are some of the bigger implications? What are some of the bigger things that we should be thinking about right now? Well, we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the Afuera t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is being shared around by I think everyone on Twitter right now, but I think it's an older video. I don't know who made this. It says that it's from video.cameras. I doubt that this is the actual content creator that made this. If you know the actual content creator, please let me know in the comment section down below so we could attribute her correctly and her brilliant comedic satirical work when it comes to, of course, the chicken conspiracy that, let's just be honest, the way that things are going in our current world could be probable. She could be onto something, and she definitely doesn't look like she's just clucking around, as this lady means business. And whoever she is, we're going to make sure to find her, go subscribe to her channel and her social media accounts, as, of course, work like this deserves to be supported. We might already have the link up. When we do, go over there and show your love and support for the content creators that make us laugh during these extremely difficult times that a lot of people are panicking, crying, and freaking out about. This, as the former president of the United States was just found guilty and is now officially a convicted felon. You heard that correctly. The president of the United States is now an official convicted felon, something that, of course, greatly changes the political landscape, even though CBS News is reporting that a lot of the poll numbers aren't changed here, but I think they are. Even personally myself, as my perspective, my political situation, who I'm voting for has changed dramatically after this. And it's fair to say that this is the start of something major with huge implications here that is absolutely worth worrying about, as, of course, this is the destruction of civility. This is the banana republic-like grave, dangerous escalations politically that highlight a crossing of the Rubicon moment that is extremely dangerous for, quote, American democracy, as well as civility, as the former president of the United States came out and had to say this about potentially becoming a political prisoner.
The judge could decide to say, hey, house arrest or even jail.
It could.
How do you face what that could be?
I'm okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh, no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything. You just, the way it
This, as Donald Trump is becoming defiant to the political charges and accusations against him, as he is facing a sentencing that will be happening on July 11th, as he might be arrested. He might have house arrest. He might be restricted from traveling to some countries, as now we wait for a judge that clearly is politically involved here to decide the fate of the former president of the United States and this upcoming presidential election. As Trump also came out and said that he is, quote, the opposite of a threat to democracy, as it looks like there are very concentrated political powers out there that are doing everything they can, putting out all the stops to not allow the people of the United States to vote for him in this upcoming presidential election. This, according to my own personal opinion and analysis of what I see going on here. As Trump also spoke about how his wife and children are coping and responding to this guilty verdict, as he also came out and said that he is not sure how the public will respond to all of this. Some people are saying that he should drop out, while others are rallying behind the former president of the United States more than ever, as of course there have been multiple rallies for the former president of the United States, seen in even many leftist states like California. As last night, Donald Trump actually showed up to the UFC event where he was met with the crowd that overwhelmingly was cheering for him. Even former UFC champion Sean Strickland decided to shout out Donald Trump in his post-fight victory speech, saying this specifically about the man.
President Trump, you're the man, bro. It is a damn travesty what they're doing to you. I'll be donating to you, my man. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. Congratulations, sir. Sean Strickland, ladies and gentlemen.
As that wasn't the only fighter to show his respects to Donald Trump, as of course many fighters made their way ringside to say hi to Donald Trump, as well as former UFC champion Khabib Nurmagomedov, that according to some accounts came to Donald Trump and asked him to please stop all the wars going on right now in the Middle East, as the former president of the United States responded with allegedly, quote, "We're going to stop it. I'm going to stop it." As the fanfare, the support, the cheering for Donald Trump, I think, from watching last night UFC's event is becoming more fervent than ever, as Donald Trump also, very interestingly, just started a TikTok account that within less than 12 hours of being set up already had 1.4 million followers. This, as the Biden administration has about 335,000 followers since February. All of this as Americans have decided to pitch in and donate to the former president of the United States to help him with his ongoing legal battles and guilty verdict that was responded to by the general public, raising $53 million in donations within just a few hours after this guilty verdict, predominantly all from online small dollar donations. Yes, you heard that correctly. $53 million in small dollar donations. As France 24 is reporting that this is a record haul that was equivalent to more than $2 million raised per hour, as clearly the support there is for the former president of the United States. All of this, as it's not only Donald Trump being attacked recently, as Alex Jones, a radio talk show host in Austin, Texas, also is facing a lot of very significant pressures, as Newsweek is reporting that he is saying that his studio could be shut down within hours and his studio equipment be sold off, a part of the bankruptcy proceedings that he's involved in, as he was told to fork over $1 billion to family members related to a particular event that he allegedly defamed. This as Alex Jones took to an emergency broadcast just a few hours ago on Saturday, describing the situation that he was going through and how federal authorities could soon, quote, allegedly shut down, change the locks, and sell off the studio where he usually broadcasts his daily live show from, as a lot of people took to social media, including Congress members, showing their support for Alex Jones, as there was also a clip of him breaking down in tears, describing the situation where his life's work could be shut down, which I think the Quartering had an interesting perspective on, saying, quote, "Alex made one mistake on his long career of fighting for the truth, and they have been trying to destroy him ever since," as there's a lot of duplicitous hypocrisy here from the corporate media that extensively lies, doesn't tell the people the truth, defames them, destroys their reputation, goes after legitimate, hardworking, blue-collar Americans every single day, and they're not the ones fined billions of dollars for doing so, as this was the clip from Alex Jones last night that, of course, everyone was sharing.
At the end of the day, we're going to beat these people. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight. And these people hate our children. take more calls. Go ahead. Who's the next person?
As it's important to note here that it's not just the most prominent of figures that are facing a lot of backlash, a lot of legal issues, a lot of threats from the establishment and other central powers that are shutting them down, trying to imprison them, trying to take away their money. But also, there's a lot of these accounts for average, everyday Americans, including this woman that just described a situation where she has been in court for 4 years because she flew Trump flags near a Biden campaign bus, which has thrown her in court because of the, quote, distress that it caused some Biden campaign workers.
Hear one more person say, if it happens to Trump, it can happen to you. It's already happening to people like me. It's happening. What we need to be saying is it's happening to Trump and it's happening to people like you. Not it can, it is. I am getting sued, a homeschool mom, for flying Trump flags in 2020. I've been in court for 4 years because Biden's White House is saying that we gave them emotional damage. The same lawfare that's happening to Trump, the Obama appointed judge, the gag order, all the unfair tactics that they use, all the abuse of resources is happening to regular people. Look at the January 6ers, the praying grandma, the woman who was peacefully protesting in front of an abortion clinic, the people who are posting memes on social media and facing prison time. Free speech is under attack. The left is using lawfare to chill free speech, to silence us and interfere with elections, and to go up against their opponents and people who support them. What you need to be asking is how many other people is it happening to?
As it's fair to say that it's happening to a lot of people, not just some of the biggest ones. But when you look at the larger kind of picture and perspective here about what happened to individuals like Rudy Giuliani, Roger Stone, Michael Flynn, when you look at the deplatforming of many prominent social media influencers over their political speech and expression, when you look at the shutting down of major independent media operations, when you look at the possible imprisonment of the former president of the United States, it's clear to see here that there is a larger escalation, that there is partisanship, that there is a divide in this country that is becoming ever so evident. And with that come very clear, dangerous implications for the future of this country that, of course, is being divided and conquered, that is being bifurcated, that has people, that has Americans fighting each other, which, in my opinion, is absolutely ridiculous and stupid. This political warfare, lawfare, needs to stop immediately, as even major corporate media personalities like Kevin O'Leary are coming out and saying that the United States is sinking to a new level of a banana republic, as he previously criticized the trial of Donald Trump as something that is not good for the, quote, business world, as he is now warning about a financial exodus, with the United States not doing the right thing for itself, its interest, or its financial needs and concerns, but more and more for a completely out-of-touch corporate takeover and domination of political thoughts and expressions that are being eviscerated right in front of our eyes. And when you look at the foreign conflicts, when you look at the debt, when you look at the ever so divisive nature, when you look at the dangerous escalations that are happening all over the world, I think it's fair to say that this election is definitely going to be more tumultuous than ever. And with that, strap in your seatbelts because it's going to be a bumpy ride. And it's only going to get a lot more bumpier from here. And now again, the right thing, the strategic thing, would be for the Biden administration, for the governor of New York to come together and say, hey, okay, we get it. Clearly, there's a lot of politics involved here. Clearly, we need to de-escalate. Clearly, let's pardon Donald Trump. Let's end this political witch hunt. Let's end this partisanship. Let's make a deal where we could all work together to serve the American people, their interests, and do the right thing for the people of this country. And that probably won't happen. Now, there's some talk about it. There's a former presidential candidate, Dean Phillips, that came out and is suggesting that the governor of New York should actually pardon Donald Trump for, quote, the good of the country. I agree with his assessment. But the governor of New York that pretty much alluded to Trump supporters being clowns probably won't be doing that anytime soon. And that, to me, is a failed opportunity as much as it is failed leadership. That's my perspective. If you agree with it, share it with your friends and family members, as, of course, there's a lot of attacks on independent media. You want to support us? Check out our shorts that we have on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. We just released this one, Convicted Felon for President 2024. And it's very fitting We also got some other ones we can't really show you here. There's a lot of shirts I want to show you. I want to sell you. I can't because of how spicy the messages on them are. You could get this shirt. You could get a lot of shirts. Getting the shirt builds and grows this independent media outlet. We also have lawn signs that are pretty cool. We have hats, you name it, we got it all on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. If you haven't seen the store and all of our latest, greatest finds, what are you doing? Check it out right now, as of course your support goes towards growing, building, and expanding this independent media organization. And with all the legal issues, all the major problems, that all the lawsuits that everyone in our sphere is dealing with, your support more crucial than ever. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your support, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.